Now, y'all be kind to me today on this Tidbit Tuesday. Hello, y'all. Welcome, family. Um, for some reason, this is going to be a very transparent video, and it may be for me, it might be hopefully to help you, but I hope that you receive it. But, anyways, so much of my life, I have struggled with low self esteem, with feeling unwanted, with feeling like I'm not enough, with feeling that um, at any given moment, those who proclaim to love me will walk away. Feelings of rejection, feelings of abandonment, feelings of um, being looked over. Yeah, much of my life. Um, some of that comes from my many years in foster care. I was in foster care from age 6 until I aged out. Some of it comes from um, life experiences, molestation, and rejection when in foster care. Um, some of it just comes from life in general, right? And so as you grow up that way, you develop a mentality, you develop a way of thinking, and it almost permeates every single part of who you are, unless you have a strong spiritual background or a strong support system or whatever you need to kind of help you combat those things. And so, for much of my life, that has been a thing. Um, and some experiences in recent years have almost served to drive home those thoughts that I'm not enough, and that I'm replaceable, and that there is always someone better than me. And now I'm just being real, because sometimes we sugarcoat and we placate things, but this is helping me, and I hope it's helping you. And so for a long time, I dealt with those concerns. Um, about a year ago now, we're about at the year mark. Yeah, exactly. I had another situation that had me again rehearsing those same thoughts, those same feelings. I felt replaceable. I felt rejected. I felt that I could not be good enough, because if I was good enough, how could you? And if I was enough, why this? So, all of those questions, right? And so, having to rehash all of that as an adult, full adult, encouraging others, motivating others, speaking still, working still, doing the things I do, my wife, mother, all of those things, having to now go back and revisit those feelings more in depth. And so I found myself recently, because I've taken this year to be intentional about my healing, and not just from that situation, because that situation absolutely sucked. It was a whole lot, but from my childhood. Because sometimes things come up and you realize that there are things that you need to heal from way long ago, not just the situations that have come up. And so I've been intentional about that healing. I found myself recently, unintentionally, having to be real with me, and it came in a way that was unexpected. It might seem small to others, but it was big for me. So I had developed this thing where, I always had to look a certain way and be a certain way, because I felt like I was more acceptable to people if I were a certain way. And so my nails had to look a certain way, my hair had to look a certain way. Like, it was just little nuances that I didn't realize had come about because of all of these feelings, right? And so I had been wearing nails, like SNS, everything, for years. And I realized that for me, it was actually unhealthy, but because I wanted to keep up a certain look and a certain way of things, I kept doing it, right? But I'm like, see, God, you just. So I found myself maybe about a week ago. I checked my nails, like after getting nails off. I looked at them, and underneath my nails were brittle and cracked and broken. And they had started developing, I think they call it nail fungus underneath, for where there were cracks and things, water, everything had gotten in and it wasn't sealed properly. And so I had to actually take those nails and not put anything else on. so that my nails can properly heal. And it felt so vulnerable and so just out there, right? And then, as I go out, sometimes I put on a little lipstick and a little mascara. And I don't really wear a lot of makeup, but I put on something because, I think it helps and it makes me look a certain way, right? And I happened to ask my husband, and when I tell you he's good at getting me together, sometimes I asked him, am I still just as beautiful to you without my makeup and without my clothes and without all the extra as I am when I have it on? And he gave me the strangest look, his looks, and he got me right together. And one of his statements to me was, I've told you before, you don't need any of that. Let's just say, thank God for your natural beauty. Like he said other things, but it brought me back to this whole cycle that's been going on of I have to be this, I have to do this, I have to look a certain way, I have to be palatable to people so that they love me and so they don't reject me and so they don't walk away and so they accept me, and I have to be the life of the party. Even when I'm naturally an introvert, I have to be all of these things because I don't want anyone to walk away. And even when I allow myself to be my own legitimate self, to be my true self, it leaves me open and vulnerable to somebody still hurting me. And so it's been a cycle. But I had to come to the realization, and I hope this is where it helps you, that we are responsible for our healing. We are responsible for our ability to go beyond what our history dictates, to go beyond those things that hurt us. And even when people do hurt us, because people are flesh, they are fallible, there are things that happen. And it may not even be their heart. And if it is their heart, that's a whole other situation to talk about. But it happens. But what we can't do is be so open to always being knocked back every time someone does something that looks like and feels like where we've been. We can't do it, y'all. We are responsible for our own healing. We are responsible for building ourselves up. We thank God for what He does. In the end, we have the greatest power over us in our heart and our mind and our ability to pull ourselves out, to move forward, to heal intentionally, to allow ourselves to feel. I will never tell you not to feel. Absolutely feel. But don't let those feelings get you stuck in where you are. And don't let those feelings negate the beauty and the good that is happening and will be. Because sometimes we'll get so stuck in where we've been, and we'll get so stuck in those old feelings and those old thoughts that we will destroy what is to come. So on this tidbit, I am human, just like everybody. I still have feelings, I still have thoughts. But one thing I know at this point, and that I have ascertained and I am steadfast in, is I am more than enough. You are more than enough. People's actions don't dictate what you are and the amazing person that you are. Their actions don't change any of that. Their actions just show a maturity that they need to get and some things that they need to work on. But it changes nothing about the fact that you are absolutely phenomenal. And as I said, I am enough, more than enough. I am beautiful in all of my natural state. I am enough for those who want to love me. I am great being just as I am, whether that's the life of the party for the day or whether that is in my corner. I am phenomenal just as I am. And I want you to know that. With hair, nails, makeup, you don't have none of that. Whether you are the one who wants to go and curl up sometimes rather than going out, whether you are the one who has all the words to say or none of the words at all, you are everything. All right? I hope you hear me. I hope you hear me. You are enough. Heal, sis. Heal, brother. It's crucial. Happy tidbit.